Gentlemen, how's it going? I'm really stressed, man. Just really, really stressed. And I'm really stressed at the absolute state of this country. Don't tell me I'm late. It's 10:29. I'm a minute early. Thank you very much. But holy crap, man. And the thing is, I'm not stressed about like any one thing. I'm just stressed about the general problem that this country has. And it's just not getting any better. And it's not on there's nothing on the horizon. There's absolutely nothing. And it is. It's just, hello, yeah, chat. If you can see me, good. Say hi. But yeah, nothing's getting any better. And it's just doing my fucking Swede, man. Because everyone else is doing well. Like, everyone everywhere else, apart from Ireland, seems to have it fucking on their heads like, oh right, yeah. We need to not be shit at everything, right? We need to not be shit. That's what we need. And it's just, yeah, this is going to be a bit This Week in Stupidity, but this is just fucking, it's too much, right? It's just too goddamn much. Let me know if everything's working okay, chat, because like I said, I have a habit of boomering things, so I don't do the tech anymore. Yeah, okay, not Australia, fair enough, but like America, France, even Germany, even like even Canada is starting to get their shit together, and it's like, what the fuck is happening, man? And obviously Argentina is the best example of this. Like, but like El Salvador, just, you know, Hungary's doing fine. Like everywhere where we have right wing populism, things are getting better. So of course in Britain we're going like, you know what? Maybe we should go farther to the left. That's what works, right? We should go as far to the goddamn left as possible. And yeah, you're right. Dinosaur trees, flowers. It's excruciating to watch. And I'm so glad that our friends in other countries are winning, right? I'm so glad to see it because, good God, we are not fucking winning anything here. And every day, it's really annoying. Like today, I'm preparing to do a video about just international welfare in Britain. As in, why, as Colin points out, why are we battery farming foreigners? Why are we battery farming Somalians? Why is 72% of Somalians in Britain in social housing? Why is a single one in social housing? Why do we permit this? And it's just so mad how, and God, like, the state spending, what we say is state spending. Like, oh, there's a £22 billion black hole. Yeah, and the rest, all right? And the fucking rest, please. Because, like, it's, that's the unaccounted bit. But then when you account for everything, we're pissing away tens of billions every year on nonsense. And it's just like, I can't properly express my feelings about it, right? I can't properly express how I feel because it might be illegal. It genuinely might be illegal. And it's like, I mean, like, okay, let's go through some examples and you see what I mean, right? So it turns out if you just stop spending money at the state level, the country fixes itself, right? This is what Malay has shown us. This is a great thread by Sam here, where he's just like, look, everything was shit in Argentina. It was almost as bad as modern Britain. It was really shit. Things were shit. Couldn't get out of debt. Couldn't make any money. Couldn't get off the first fucking rung of the ladder, right? And then Malay comes along. He's just like, yeah, afuera. Everything. He's just cut state spending aggressively. Brilliant. Reduced the number of government departments from 19 to 10. Wow, he was generous. I would have gone far harder than that. Fire thousands of government workers. Again, look at that, right? When he took office, the Argentinian state had about 340,000 employees, right? The British state definitely has well over 500,000, right? It is just insufferable. I'd be like, right, okay, no, you're all fired. I'm just going to replace you all with AI at this point. It's not going to cost us anything. And if it doesn't work, that's fine, because literally what happens when the US doesn't have a government for a period of time, or Belgium doesn't have a government for like 9 months. Well, everything just ticks along as normal and everyone gets on with their lives. Turns out the government is the thing holding us back, right? He ends up just slashing regulation as well. Unsurprisingly, what happened? Well, spoiler alert, the economy started getting better. He's ending free healthcare to immigrants in Argentina. Oh, that's a fucking great idea. Why is it that someone born overseas is entitled to my money, channeled through the government, channeled through state spending, and I'm still expected to just pay it? Like, oh God, I just can't. It's so annoying. It's just so annoying. That's my fucking money. Just because they managed to get on a boat or get on a plane and arrive on these shores doesn't mean that, Keir Starmer and the rest of them, the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, Lib Dems, Greens, SNP, like Plaid Cymru, every fucking party in this country is basically left-wing. Reform are taking a bunch of Tory MPs. Oh, I'm sure they're very right-wing, right? And they're just like, yeah, you know what? These people need your money, so we're taking it. It's like, oh, God. It's not even tax day and I'm pissed off. Imagine what I'm going to be like come April. Because I'm capable of forward planning, I can think ahead to April and be like, God, I fucking hate the government. I'm trying to keep it under wraps, right? I'm trying to keep a lid on it. But fuck me, am I just so dispirited by this. Right? So, for Millet, Argentina is a country that needs to learn to live within its means. Isn't that every country? Isn't that every goddamn country? Like the Labour Party, like, we've got a £22 billion black hole. We're going to have to raise taxes. Oh, yeah, what are you doing? We're going to raise like 60 billions worth of taxes? It's like, why? 45 billion or whatever it was. It's like, right, okay. And then what? I know we're going to commit 22 billion to carbon capture. We're going to commit $500 million to like overseas farming. And then we're going to tax our farmers for $500 million. And it's literally just a wealth transfer to elsewhere in the world. It's just... I'm so tired of being taken advantage of. I'm just so tired of it. I work really fucking hard every day. I mean, how much content do I make every day, right? It's not this content just... And I'm not complaining about being a content creator or anything like that. But I just want to be very clear, right? I read stacks of fucking books. Stacks that you can see how far through each book I am, wherever the fucking marker is as I'm making notes. I read stacks of fucking... Oh, look. More books. More fucking books with markers in, because you can see how far through I am. More fucking books. I work all the goddamn hours of the day. And I walk through Swindon Town Centre and there are some fucking Somalians sat there relaxing, having a coffee outside of a coffee shop, assuming it's not fucking raining. And I'm just like, I'm paying for that. With all the work, look at more books, all the work I do, I paid for that. Fucking hell, man. I'm so sick of it. And so, like, just look at my content output on a daily basis, right? So I spend my time researching, finding information, putting things together, and then presenting videos. Like, I've done one video today, admittedly, but like every single day, it's me researching, reading books, getting stuff done, making things happen. And I hope the content's great, right? I work really, really hard on it. I hope the content's good. I hope everyone's enjoying it. And everyone seems to be, so, I'm very proud of, and not just me, obviously, everyone at Lotus, but like, I'm just thinking of what I personally do, right? And so I personally am just basically, I'll go to work, do all this, and then come home and do this in the evening, right? And so I'm just like constantly fucking working, and that's fine. I'm happy to constantly work as long as I am appropriately compensated for my work, right? Like, I think it's fair to say that I should be the one who keeps the money I make. That's totally fair. Thomas Sowell's completely correct. This is not greed. This is justice. This is what justice means. You get what you deserve. The fucking immigrants who just sat around all day drinking coffee outside in Swindon Town Centre, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They've done nothing to deserve my money. They don't provide me any service whatsoever. Like, they didn't even solicit me for a fucking service. They were like, sir, can I shine your shoes? Can I cut your hair? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I weed your garden? Can I do something that you'll pay me money for? And maybe I'd say yes, maybe I'd say no, but it doesn't matter because the government's come along and say, no, you are literally going to pay them to do fuck all. And I'm just so angry with the injustice of this, right? So anyway, let's get back to Argentina. Oh, look how everything's going great all of a sudden, right? Oh, fucking budget deficits, tanking. Millet takes office. Oh, suddenly it's all right. Why? Because he stopped the literal... the bureaucratic class didn't get what it wanted. And so everything's going great. Good for them. Just good for them. Good for Millet. Good for them. Just, it doesn't take a genius, right? It really doesn't take a genius. If you have a giant parasitic entity sat on top of a country's economy, sucking resources out at the point of a gun, That's going to damage your productivity and growth. It just doesn't. You don't need to think any further than that. You don't need numbers. You just need basic logic. Unproductive people who have got guns and are allowed to take money from productive people is not good for the productivity of the country overall. That's just that simple. They can't make money. They have nothing to buy or sell. They have no goods. They are not producers of anything. Therefore, government should be minimized as much as possible to the bare necessity. It just doesn't need an argument to be made, right? You don't need to argue that point because it's so fucking self-evident. And yet here we are with a gargantuan, absolutely... In fact, I'm going to quickly Google it. How many people work for the British state? Not including the NHS. Fuck. Right, so... I'm not going ANCAP. I just want a minimal state that doesn't rob me and pay people who don't deserve my money, right? Just fuck. God, it's so insufferable to see. 542,000 civil servants. 540 fucking 2,000. 840 to be precise. Oh, just how many? Let me get a calculator up. That's one civil servant for every 127 people in this country. That is fucking ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. I can't get over it. I can't fucking get over it. Don't be like, thanks, Churchill. Fuck off, man. I'm so sick of this. Like, we should be speaking it. No, Churchill didn't want this. Like, this is not a product of Churchill. Churchill's like, right, what we need to do, guys, is trans the kids and bloat the civil service. That's not Churchill. That's fucking Labour, right? That is Tony Blair's Labour. Stop pointing the finger. It's like, no, it's Labour. It's fucking Labour, and it's the Conservatives. Those two parties, from 1997 onwards, decided, yeah, what we're going to do is inflate the state, make a bunch of tyrannical laws, and tax the shit out of you as a wealth transfer for the quest for social fucking justice, right? Don't bring up World War II. It's nothing to do with it. It's 1997 onwards that this begins, and that's the problem, right? Stop giving them cover when you're like, oh, it's Churchill. No. It's Tony Blair, his Labour Party. It's David Cameron, his Conservative Party. It's Boris Johnson, his Conservative Party. And it's Keir Starmer, his Labour Party. We can name the exact people because it's within my living memory. Things weren't always this way. It wasn't always just a black hole at the end of Britain's future. That we're just, oh, right, so we're just going off the cliff, are we? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's where the rails are going. So, yeah, we're all just going off the cliff. And it's, oh, brilliant. Oh, we all agreed to this, did we? Well, we elected Tony Blair, and because 27 years ago we elected Tony Blair, we're going straight off the cliff, and you're a racist or a Nazi or whatever if you don't want to. So, too bad. And so everyone's just like, well, we've got the state spending commitments, we've got to uphold them. Who's going to pay the pensions? You know what? Who pays the pensions? I'm not... I don't know, and I don't care, right? I don't care. I'm at the point where I just don't care. If there's not enough people in the country to pay the pensions, well, that's something that should have been thought about back in the day, right? It's got to the point now where I'm just like, okay, I don't care. Like, if we are literally going to liquidate our economy to pay pensions, then we need to think of a better system than the current pension system, don't we? Everyone's like, well, what's that going to be? I don't know. I'm not the guy, am I? Am I in charge? Am I a fucking economist? No. All I'm saying is I'm someone who works hard and pays an unbelievable amount of tax. And I can see why nearly 10,000 millionaires a year are like, you know what? Fuck this country. I'm going somewhere else. There are countries that don't pay any fucking income tax. Like fucking Vermont is, I'm pretty sure it's like Vermont or New England or something where it's just like, they just don't pay tax. And they pay property taxes. So if you own something there, okay, there's a different question, but like, at least when, the young person gets back from work and they pay their rent, they're not also taxed on top of that. Anyway, I'm just, like I said, I'm really angry about all of this. I'm just really, really, really fucking angry at the absolute state of this country. We are never getting any better. right? We're never getting any better. And most of the problem is the electorate, right? And we'll get to why it's the electorate that's the problem. The British people are just, it's like we are imprisoned by the Blairite mindset. By the way, I've got paint on my fingers, if you're wondering. Everyone was always like, oh, what's on your fingers? It's paint. I was airbrushing some Dark Angels earlier. Anyway, right? So, let's get back to Millet, right? Oh, look, inflation's great. Oh, look, the stock indexes are going up. Oh, what? The risk profile's begun to fall. Oh, brilliant. The IMF is like, oh, they got 5% growth every year. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's nice. You know, and life for ordinary Argentinians, again, this is the point that really matters. It's beginning to improve because prices for goods have fallen to reasonable and manageable levels. In fact, that's here somewhere. There we go. Consumer prices. Oh, if only, right? I asked my wife the other day, right, darling, make sure you don't get the seed oils, because of course I'm radicalized against seed oils. Thank you, seed oil disrespecter. I literally don't know anything about the science of it, but I've been propagandized successfully against the idea of seed oils, and in almost everything. And so I told my wife, look, darling, can you get some olive oil? We're out of olive oil. I'd like olive oil. She did the shopping yesterday. She's like, it's £7 a bottle. I went, what, for a litre of olive oil? And she's like, yeah. And so I can't afford that in the budget. I'm like, oh. So now I have to go out and buy my own olive oil because it's just not in the shopping budget to get olive oil. It's all fucking great. Fucking great. Because I've been ideologically radicalized against seed oils, I should just guzzle the fucking seed oils. Just don't. Everything's so shit, man. Everything's so shit. And again, like, it's one thing, okay, everything costs the earth. Okay, fair enough. If the place looked nice, that wouldn't be such a problem. You'd be like, well, this is the price we pay to live in a lovely place like this. No, the place looks like shit. Absolute shit. Everything's just collapsing. Everything's falling apart. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, Malay's doing quite well. 48% approval rating. Shockingly, 52% of the country are like, well, if you're not going to make me live in poverty, I'm not happy. Fuck those people. Fuck those people. Fuck every single one of them. If any of them want to fucking have a conversation about this, just stop me in the street and be like, hey, I'm one of the pricks who wants massive taxation because I'm an unproductive parasite. And I will literally tell them what I think to their fucking face. I'm so sick of this, right? And so anyway, yeah, Malay's doing great. Everything's going well. Brilliant. How about we zoom over to Britain, right? Keir Starmer, the socialist in chief, is like, I think there are too many people in Whitehall who are comfortable in the tepid bath of managed decline. He means civil servants when he says that. And you can tell because it was the civil servants who reacted with fury, going, oh, we've kept the show on the road in difficult circumstances over recent years. No, you are the problem, right? You are entirely the problem, or 90% of the problem. And just a quick thing, right? I'm not moving to America, right? Stop saying it. And I know you don't, right? I'm not moving to America. I am an Englishman. I am raising my sons in England. They are going to be Englishmen. We are just going to fucking fix this place. No more retreat. I'm sick of this fucking attitude. Oh, we'll just flee. It's like, goddamn, man. It's like everything's shrinking. The free world is shrinking. No, we are going to fix Britain. I literally have made it my job to spend my time spreading far-right propaganda to fix Britain. Obviously, I don't really consider this to be far-right. But I've been told that this is what far right is. Millet is far right. Okay, well, let's do whatever that is. Because it's fucking working for him. You know, I don't care if you think that's far right. I think you're a communist. So let's do that. That works. Let's get on it. Let's start cutting, right? And it's this kind of thing that pisses me off. The civil servant, who is anonymous, Robert Peston reports, I think he's like ITV or Channel 4, I can't remember which one he is. He's some fucking commie reporter. And he says, the civil servant said, quote, there is a mood that we should pull the plug on him. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck? You, civil servant is not the right word, is it? It's bureaucratic tyrant, right? I hate Keir Starmer as much as the next man, obviously, but he was elected, technically, on the most barest technicality by a margin. A fifth of the electorate decided to vote for him, and somehow that was enough for him to win a gargantuan majority. I actually know how, but never mind. That's not your place to say that, right? And what they're saying there is, we will stop cooperating with the elected government to implement the elected government's agenda, as evil as that agenda is, and as useful as it would actually be for the civil service not to cooperate, because obviously he can't ruin the country if he can't get anything done. But that's the problem, isn't it? Like, look at what he's trying to do, and look at the people. They want what he wants. They want the destruction of the country. They want the managed decline, as he points out. He's like, yeah, so you guys are for managed decline. They're like, no, we're not for managed decline. We just want the decline to be orderly and managed. And we're going to be angry about you for trying to suggest that we're declining and managing this decline, and we will stop managing the decline. It's like, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. If the British public would just choose other leaders who are like, right, no, they're all fired. They're just all fired. Anyone who even dares speak out of line, I would just about get out, fired. No pension, fired. Go get a lawyer and come and sue. Get out, fired. And you know what I'll do in the meantime? I, as the elected government, I'm going to change the law so you have no standing to sue me. Right? I'm literally going to repeal whatever law you try and fucking sue me under. So fuck off. All of you, fuck off. In fact, I'm going to make it a crime to have been a member of the civil service. Oh no, it's a post hoc law. Yeah, it is. Fucking deal with it. Fucking deal with it. Go and get your army. Right? Go and get a fucking army. Fuck you. I would be crusading against the civil service at this point. Fuck you people. It's so awful that you think you run the country like this, that you are the masters of the country. It's not on. It's not fucking on. Obviously, I'm joking. I wouldn't do any of those things because I'd be far too busy doing other terrible things. Anyway, so what are we doing in Britain? We're doing the debate on cousin marriage. Oh, fucking brilliant. Right, so British people don't marry within their families. Right, I'm not going to explain the length and depth of why this is the case, but basically, and Europeans generally don't marry their cousins. However, as Iqbal Mohammed here, elected MP for wherever, for somewhere in the Midlands probably, points out, well, lots of people from sub-Saharan Africa, Arabia, and Middle East, and the subcontinent all do marry their cousins. And so really, we shouldn't ban cousin marriage because it's not very diverse and inclusive. It's like, oh, what a great conversation to be having, Mr. Mohammed. I don't want you marrying your cousins. Why are you in defense of this? I'm guessing you're married to your cousin. Like, I don't care. Don't care. It's just not the way we do things here. You don't marry your fucking cousins. It's gross. It's weird. It leads to genetic deformities.
35 to 50% of all sub-Saharan
I mean, literally, I'm not even making it up, though. Look.
African populations either prefer or accept cousin marriages, and it is extremely common in the Middle East and in South Asia. The reason the practice is so common is that ordinary people see family intermarriage overall as something that is very positive, something that helps build family bonds and helps put families on a more secure financial foothold. However, as is well documented, it is not without health risks for the children of those relationships, some of whom will be born out of wedlock. Instead of stigmatizing those who are in cousin marriages or those inclined to be, a much more positive approach would be to facilitate advanced genetic test screening for prospective married couples.
Right, okay, let's stop there, right? First things first, what you're asking for is for the NHS to spend more billions of pounds on like these minority communities. Like, listen, we just think it's a really good idea if we have incestuous relationships and marriage, right? It keeps it within the family. We like that. It's what we do, so you need to pay extra money. I don't want to pay extra money. I don't want to pay extra money. If for no other reason, even if we can't agree that there is a moral argument and a practical argument as to why actually consanguineous relationships are bad, again, if weird that we have to make a moral argument against that, you'd think that'd just be normal. But anyway, right, if we've got to skip past all of that and be like, yeah, okay, look, you can do genetic damage to the children, it's gross, whatever, you don't agree with it. Look, the NHS just can't afford it, man. It's a black hole. Too much money's going in anyway. I mean, we just shovel more money in the hole. Just shovel. I mean, what have we got that's valuable? We've got a TV, a car. Let's just chuck it down the fucking hole. Let's just pawn everything in the country so you can have consanguineous fucking marriages. No, Just stop it. It's disgusting. Right. But anyway, this is what's currently being debated in the House of Commons, because a Conservative MP is like, I think I'm going to introduce a bill that that bans it because it's bad. Right. In fact, I'm going to get days of NHS spending up. Hang on. Right, so days of NHS spending. Let's see if they've had a comment on this. Right, the world's tallest building was 3 days and 11 hours of NHS spending. It's fucking unbelievable. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, right, the budget for the NHS for 24-25 is £192 billion. £192 billion. I wonder how much the British Empire costs the state to run every year. Let me find out. What's the budget of the British Empire? Oh, it doesn't say. Right, okay. All right, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, we better not have that number handy, because when it turns out to be about 3 days worth of NHS spending, according to Elon Musk, we could build a tunnel from New York City to London with just 1 month and 1 day of NHS spending. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, countries by GDP. Let me see if I can get a list of countries by GDP. Right. So, right, the NHS is slightly behind the GDP of Nigeria, and to be honest with you, it's probably ahead of it. It's just, not including all of the other things, right? But Nigeria, Ukraine, Kuwait, Morocco, the NHS takes in more than all of these countries. Like, something like fucking 3/4 of the earth makes less money than the NHS, right? Per year, the entire country. We could literally have the empire back with this amount of money. And it's just like, okay, whatever, man. We've got the NHS. We're going to be genetically screening, like, subcontinentals to make sure that their consanguineous fucking marriages aren't producing genetically deformed kids. That's what we sacrifice the empire. Okay, yeah, all right, whatever. But again, the NHS is just unbelievable. We can't afford it. We just can't afford it. It's an international health service. We can't afford it. Anyway, getting back to British politics, right? Let's get back to British politics. So what hope is on the horizon? Well, you've got Reform taking every Conservative MP who's no longer an MP under the sun. So Andrew Jenkins and some other guy who was... He resigned as an MP in 2014 because he went to a Nazi-themed party and the press got wind of it and the Conservatives were like, well, you're out. Bing. And Nigel Farage was like, yeah, I'll take that guy. I'll take Andrew Jenkins and I'll take the wet liberal mass immigration advocate who found a Conservative home. I'm going to mush them together because I've got a big plan for the next election. It's like, what the fuck is your plan here, Nige? But anyway, that's the right wing in Britain that's doing great. In other news, we're about to get our Islamic party, right? There's a long time coming that Britain got its very own Islamist party, right? The independent MPs, right? As you can tell by the name, the kind of places they got voted for. We've got Adnan Hussein, Iqbal Mohammed, who we've heard from earlier, about the cousin marriage, Ayub Khan, Shaukat Adam, and Jeremy Corbyn. So the most Islamic people in the country. Remember, Jeremy Corbyn, never an Islamic terrorist, and any other terrorist he didn't love, obviously. Our friends in Hamas and Hezbollah, Jeremy Corbyn, is going to join the Muslim party as an independent, from being an independent MP. It's just fucking spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. This is the way British politics is going. So, okay, great. Just great. Just... Nigel, what are you doing, mate? Make something happen. Like, stop sucking up Conservatives. They're a bunch of losers who got us to this place. It's really frustrating that you're like, yeah, I'm going to get this guy who went to a Nazi party and got knocked out of Conservative Party in 2014 because that guy's a winner. That guy's the way forward. I don't know. What are we saying here? Anyway, in the meantime, you get things like this.
Realise how ridiculous this is. It is.
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me, you don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because of something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media post.
Right, you posted something on social media. Someone somehow thought it was appropriate to report to the police that this post had caused them anxiety. Okay, Mr. Plod, paying taxes causes me anxiety. The fact that people in this country can marry their cousins causes me anxiety. Does anything happen? No, because this applies to the native population only. This is fucking ridiculous. This is our country, right? This is our country. I demand a better quality of Gestapo. Anyway, so let's get to the problem. The problem with the country. Now, you might be thinking, well, I thought we covered the problem. No, we've covered symptoms of the problem. We have covered all of these things are all downstream of what the actual problem is. And the actual problem is democracy itself. The fact that the British electorate is allowed to choose their own rulers. And they have. They keep choosing them. They keep choosing Blairite left-wing fucking parties that are insisting on raising our taxes. And people generally think, oh yeah, taxes are great. Why? Why would you think taxes are good? Right? And so this is a YouGov poll that was recently done, and fuck me. Oh my God. I just can't take it. I just can't take it. Right? No, Josh, that is not really on fire. That is a Grok AI generated picture. Just look at the fucking state of this, right? So which ideologies do Britons have a favourable view on? Right, fascism at 2%, good, I would expect that. Normal, right? The British people are not for fascism. Who could have imagined? Anarchism, 8%. Okay, well, I mean, if anarchism means the state doesn't spend my money, not a bad idea. Communism, 10%. Put a pin in that. The British people aren't really in favour of communism. Populism, 13%. Oh yeah, that would be terrible. Well, we can't have the country working for the majority of people in the country. Obviously, we're against that. We're only slightly more for that than we are for communism. Again, hello? What is wrong with you people? Fucking wake up, right? Libertarianism, 24%. So 3/4 of the country are like, no, we can't have freedoms. We can't have low taxes, low regulations, small state. That's just not what we're having. We're not having that. We're not having a country that works for the hard-working taxpayer. Because that's what really libertarianism in this kind of political formulation boils down to. Does the country work hard for the people who pay the fucking taxes? No, they don't. It doesn't. 3/4 of the country are against it. 3/4 of the country are against it. Like, that is insane, isn't it? Okay, nationalism. People are, oh, I don't know, that sounds a bit Nazi. No, we were talking about fascism already. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is just the country being run in the national interest. If we want to take the most charitable interpretation of nationalism, not even a third. Not even a third of people are in favour of the country being run in the national interest of the British people. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you people? Like, I'm not a nationalist because I've got philosophical arguments and reasons, because I understand the history and ideology of nationalism as an ideology, right? But I know the average British person doesn't. What they hear when they think nationalism is someone who is patriotic, who is running the country in the interests of the majority population. It's basically populism, right? There's very little difference between nationalism and populism in the average person's mind. So when they're like, are you in favour of nationalism? No, I want the elites. The international elites to run my country into the fucking ground, please. Yeah, no, I'm very much against cheap goods that are produced here, or not even cheap. I mean, just decent goods that are produced here and provide British jobs for British workers, and making deals with other nations that favour us and making sure that we have a future to hand down to our children. Yeah, no, I'm terribly against that. What else have you got? Well, how about capitalism? How about hard work pays? How about investing in the country and allowing private business to flourish so everyone gets far richer? You know, the Adam Smith thing? If you make the nails and I make the horseshoes and we just trade the nails and the horseshoes, it turns out we make so many more than we actually need that everyone becomes way richer. And then this invisible hand, don't worry, it's just a metaphor. It's not going to actually touch you. This invisible hand will gently guide the way the economy works so everyone just becomes generally richer, right? Now, you might think it's a scary sounding word, but it's how Britain became a rich country to begin with. It's what we did. It's what America does. It's what literally Malay is doing at the moment. Like, we're just going to allow working people to make money. How about it? And the British people are like, no. No, not even a third of them are in favour. Not even a third of them are in favour of making fucking money. It's just crazy. It's just... Okay. Okay. How about this then? How about this? England in particular, but Britain generally, has an unbelievably long history of continuous, uninterrupted success, right? We have handed down, or we've been handed down, an incredible patrimony from the past, a glorious, magnificent, enviable history of just non-stop success for the last 1,000 years. We were just winning everything, right? We just kept winning. We won every fucking thing over and over and over and over. And then we won some more, right? And then we won even more than that. And I've got to about 1,500 at this point, right? And then we kept winning some more. Then we won even further, and we won there, and we won there, and we won there, and we won there. And we were winning literally on all around the world until eventually we controlled so much of the world, there was never a point of the world under which we weren't winning. Constant, non-stop winning for like 300 fucking years until we won the war to end all wars. And we won that, right? And so maybe we should appreciate all of these things that winning brought us. And not even a third of the country are like, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm not in favour of that. I'm not in favour of inheriting an amazing and preserving an amazing legacy of victory and success and scientific innovation and all the amazing buildings that we have. Everything. No, I don't want to be a conservative and just appreciate the things that were handed down to us by our glorious ancestors. No, I'm not interested in that. Oh, okay. Well, what would you like? Well, 38% of people want socialism. What the fucking socialism? All right, because the reason we're poor is not enough socialism, right? That's it, guys. We don't like communism, but we do like socialism, because never the twain shall meet. What the fuck are you talking about? Socialism is the way that we arrive at communism. Oh, well, I don't want the communism. I just like the socialism bit. That's all. I just like the... You fucking stupid. No, you are fucking stupid. Sorry, let me reformulate that. No, you are fucking stupid, right? Socialism doesn't just mean, well, maybe the rich should pay their fair share. And it's not like they don't anyway, which is why they're fleeing the fucking country. You just, oh, God. It's insufferable, right? 41% are like, yeah, I like liberalism. It's like, oh, yeah? How's that working out for us? Kind of think it might have been liberalism that got us here. We've been being liberalism for the last, well, at least 100 years, I'd say. You know, like, how's it worked out? Is it going well? Would you say at the moment the final end product of liberalism is where we are right now? I mean, we're currently transitioning children. We're currently just running an open border experiment because we've had the most liberal governments it is frankly possible to fucking have. We've somehow got the highest state burden because part of liberalism these days has been raising up all of the peoples of the world to the same economic position as us, which means, of course, lowering us down to their position. So how's that going? How's the most international, global, most just Rawlsian version of liberalism possible working out for us? And 41% of people are, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, quite happy with this. What else you got? Okay, how about feminism? How about men suck? You know, the guys who, all of the other great things that I was talking about that you didn't like, how about the guys who built those? No, I don't like those. And so 56% of people are like, yeah, I'm pro-feminism. Oh, right, okay. Right, okay, so should we just put women in charge of everything because they're women and take away all the men? And 56% yeah, why not? Okay. But that's still not the most popular thing in Britain, right? That's still not the most popular ideology. The most popular ideology is actually communism, but communism done for the environment. So it's like, right, okay. You understand that a first world country has really high energy requirements. Like, yeah. And you would like to replace those energy requirements and fulfill them with wind turbines and solar panels. Yeah. In England, where we get sun on 1 in 3 days. Yeah. They do it in California. They've got loads of solar panels. What about, the Sahara or something like that? They've got solar panels. What about all of these fucking offshore wind farms? They're perfectly good. It's like, okay, but they don't. They're not actually net producers of energy, you fucking idiots. So whatever. I'm not getting into it. We aren't going to save the planet by making ourselves insanely poor. And if you did want environmentalism, which again, I don't think you realise what that means is just communism. If you wanted that, you'd be pro-nuclear. But you're not pro-nuclear because for some reason the UK public is fucking ridiculous. And honestly, we're just a clown car. We're just a complete clown show. Everyone else has got over this. They've gone for populism. They've gone for anarchism or libertarianism. They've gone for conservatism. If you're like Hungary, conservative. America, hyper-capitalist, right? Like Poland, nationalist. Argentina, libertarian. America, populist. What's going on? Oh, they're all fucking... Oh, yeah, of course they're skyrocketing. Of course they're skyrocketing. What have we got? We've got environmental feminism with liberalism. Thanks, Keir Starmer. I mean, that's a description. Environmentalism, feminism, liberalism, and socialism is a description of the Labour government's committed ideological positions. That's the description of our Labour government. Everyone's like, oh yeah, and that's what the Conservatives were, and that's what the Labour Party before them were. And everyone's like, yeah, no, that's good. That's how I think the world should work. It's like, okay, well, then we're going to be a poor country. Right, we're going to be a third world country. We are going to watch countries we used to laugh at overtake us economically, productivity, in quality of life, in prestige, in wealth, in happiness, in success. And we're going to watch all of these people rocket by us and go, well, look how misogynistic they are. Look how many look at their carbon footprint. Look at their authoritarian governments. It's like, okay, but they're all rich, happy, and healthy. I mean, just saying, there may be advantages to whatever thing that they're doing that you don't like. But this is where we are, right? This is where we are. Right? And then you get the breakdown, and this is genuinely funny, right? 14% of conservatives have a positive view of socialism. 15% of reform voters. Like, you support reform, and 15% of them are like, yeah, socialism's all right. 3% of reform voters think communism's all right. Now, it's only 3%. That's pretty small. But it's like, but why? But why would any percentage of them think that communism's good? Obviously, 31% of the Green Party think communism's good, right? But funnily enough, the Green Party, this is really funny. Only 83% of them think environmentalism's good. So 17% of them are like, well, no, I'm not really here for the environmentalism. All right, that's the Islamist constituency, is it? Of the Green Party. What the fuck is going on, man? It's mental. The British public are mental, right? I mean, 14% of the Labour Party being in favour of communism. I thought it'd be more than that, to be honest. 9% of the Lib Dems thought it'd be more than that. But 49% of the Liberal Democrats are pro-socialism. Liberal Democrats. Half of them pro-socialism. Right. I think we're just fucking done, man. I think we're done. I think just the idea of British people, just don't worry about politics. Just don't worry about politics. You're not into politics, right? Yes, I'm a Liberal Democrat. Oh, what are you? I'm a socialist. What the fuck are you on about? What are you on about? These should be contradictory positions, right? They should. Like, only 64% of Lib Dems are in favour of liberalism. Like, that's mad. The Liberal Democrats, and a third of them are like, yeah, I'm not really for the Liberal part. It's just mad. More Liberal Democrats are for socialism than capitalism. Okay, mad, mental, just bonkers, totally off the hinge. 70% of them, though, are feminists, and 74% of them are environmentalists. Obviously. It's just, I'm telling you, Cenk, man, I wish Cenk was this based. Like, seriously. Like people, the British public are not politically educated. They don't know anything about politics, I think. And they don't want to. I think that's what I'm taking from this. They just don't want to. Like, Reform Party voters, 75% of them are not for populism. 75% of Reform Party voters, the party that is led by the arch-populist and friend of Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, are not for populism. I don't think they know what populism means. Or I don't think they know what the Reform Party is. Or perhaps they just shouldn't fucking vote. Right? I'm joking, obviously. You should vote for Reform, even though Reform are basically Tories 2.0. Better than voting for the Tories. 55% of Reform voters are pro-conservative. Only 79% of Conservative Party voters are fucking for conservatism. 21%, a fifth of the Conservative Party's base. I'm not for conservatism. I'm for socialism. That's why I vote Conservative. Staggering. Absolutely staggering. That these numbers, they're just... We're done with 30% of people in Reform are for feminism. 35% are for environmentalism. These are words for communism. Right? These are just words for communism. And we're just done. Just totally fucking done. Also, nationalism. Well, 59% of Reform people are for nationalism. That's a start. That's something. Only 44% of them are for capitalism. Nigel is, again, the arch-Thatcherite. Thatcherite populism is literally what Nigel Farage's personal brand is, and half of his party aren't for it, apart from, 75% for the populism part. It's more than half his party, or half his base, just aren't for it. So what are you doing there? We're just done, man. We're just so fucking done. I can't believe that the Green Party is more for libertarianism than Reform. 27% of the Greens, 27% of Labour, 28% of the Lib Dems, 22% of Reform. Margaret Thatcher, Nigel's idol, is the libertarian of Britain. For fuck's sake. I'm just literally running out of ways to explain how the British electorate is just so fucking cooked, man. We're just done. It's just so mental, right? So yeah, let's see these ideologies by age. This is going to be good, isn't it? Right. So almost everyone is in favour of green communism. So brilliant, great. Almost everyone is in favour of pink communism and feminism. Brilliant, great. Half of young people are pro-socialism. 18 to 24, 24 to 49. So my age demographic, 40%, and it goes down to only 32% at 65% plus. So we've got a bunch of boomer commies. Right? Liberalism, 40% all across all the age ranges. Barely a quarter of all age ranges libertarian. Only a quarter of young people are for capitalism. So, okay, fine. I'm not necessarily for or against capitalism either, but taking it in the layman understanding, the average person, it's I should have private property and be able to buy and sell goods on my own, right? That's just mental. 21% of 18 to 24-year-olds are for nationalism, which means 80% of them are basically I want to be a serf on the global plantation. I don't like capitalism, don't like nationalism, don't like libertarianism, don't like any... I want the globalist government to just give me my portion of bugs every day. That's all I want. Just give me the bug slop, and I will eat the gruel of the bugs. Just put whatever nutrients in it that I need, and I will happily work in the fucking fluorescent lit office, typing away on my little computer, live in the pod, spend my entire life alone, and watching whatever Kuma slop is on Netflix. Let's just give it to them. That's what they want. That's what they're asking for. And the 20% who are against that, well, too bad, you were outvoted. That's democracy, sunshine. On the plus side, only 20% of them are for communism. They don't want to abolish the state. No, I want to be a serf of the state. I literally want to live with the state taking care of me. We need more bureaucrats. That's the problem, right? 15% are for anarchism, which is quite a lot, actually. And to be honest with you, I'd agree a lot more with the anarchists at this point. They're we just want to get rid of the state entirely. I'd be well, I'm more for that than the alternative. 9% of populism. Where is this Farage wave? Sorry, where's the Farage wave? They're the least populist people in the country. They're the least nationalist people. There's no youth wave coming to save the country using the Reform banner. That's not happening. They don't exist. They just don't exist. And that, you know, no one's a fascist either. What a surprise. And it's just like, oh my God, man. Just. There is no hope in this country, right? The hope in this country has to come from being a green and an environmental communist. If you're not for leveling all of Britain, destroying our industrial heritage, and making sure that we're basically returning to being the cavemen our ancestors once were, so the planet will be saved. And again, this wild delusion the planet will be saved. You've got nothing. Now, I can only assume that when they say, right, when the average person says environmentalism, what they mean is, I want the green countryside to stay green. Right? That's the best possible interpretation. When they say feminism, the best possible interpretation is, yeah, women just get treated as normal. Right? Normally treat women normal. Just be normal towards women. That's, I assume, what they're asking for. When they say liberalism, I can only assume they mean, well, I don't really want the government oppressing me, right? That's, and again, best, most charitable interpretation. And when they say socialism, they mean, well, I think there should be like social handouts. I don't want people starving in the streets, right? That's the best possible case. And I'm not even sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Oh, fucking got hair in my eye. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, they're not levelers anymore. They're diggers. Oh my God, man. We're just so cooked. And I'm just so frustrated with British politics. It just looks like we're going nowhere. And we learn nothing from anyone else. Like, I read this book from like 1940. There was a compilation of essays by professors of the time that were put together by Ernest Barker, right? It's edited together by Ernest Barker. And these are the old English professors, from like the 1930s, 1940s. Those people with gravitas. They've got funny accents. They use funny words, and they have a very long memory about the country. They have a very broad and deep understanding of things that they've spent their entire life studying. And one of these essays was like, look, the Englishman abroad is the physician of his country. He's meant to come back to his country and compare it to the other countries that he's been to and say what they're doing well and what we're not doing well. And then point out, look, we should do these things in that way because things will be better for us. Right? That's what we need. But it seems that the British public just aren't interested in it. Like, if watching Donald Trump win, Donald Trump's got an approval rating in Britain of like 25%, something like that. Like, only a quarter of the British public actually like Donald Trump. And it's like, okay, but he's going to fix America. He's already fixed it once. He's going to fix it twice. Malay as well. Like, these foreign populist right-wing figures, they're not popular in Britain because they just got propagandized constantly with the media. And that's why, and it's constant media propaganda, why they're in favour of environmentalism, feminism, and liberalism, and socialism. Anyway, fucking insufferable. There needs to be a serious change of attitudes in this country if this country isn't going to be a shithole forever. And that's all I'm asking, right? I'm not even asking very much. I just don't want it to be a shithole. I don't want it to be a shithole. I'd like my children to grow up in a half-decent country. And I don't want to have to... Like, the reason I work so hard is so I'm staying ahead of the inflationary curve, of the constant decline. I'm using whatever tools are at my disposal to make sure that I have enough money to send my children to a nice school. That's it. So they can live in a house. Like, so I can pay the mortgage, right? Because I dread to think what the mortgage is going to be like the next time I have to get it remortgaged or revalued or whatever I have to do. And they put up the fucking interest rates and the payments and stuff. Dread to think what it's going to be. Got to stay ahead of it, right? So at least I can be one of those people in the third world country who's doing okay. That's basically my plan at the moment, is just make sure that my family don't fall into poverty and destitution, which is why I'm so desperately working to get all my channels remonetized. It's like, no, I'm going to have to... Like, it never used to be a problem. It never used to be something I think about. But now it's like, oh shit, everything's going downhill. I need to earn money. I've never had to think consciously about earning money before. I hate it. I'm not a money guy. I don't think about money, so it's like, okay, but now I really have to because everything's going to shit. So fucking great. That's just great. Anyway, thanks for joining me, folks. Again, I'm trying to get this channel remonetized, which is why I'm streaming on it. I don't even know what I'll do with it. I think it's best to get the channels monetized if and when I can, because otherwise we're going to be in trouble, aren't we? Everyone could end up being in big trouble, and the country's not getting any better, and the taxes are going up, and everything's getting more expensive, and so I'm getting worried. I'm not going to lie. Genuinely scared of the future. Anyway, good luck in all the other countries. Godspeed. I'm glad you're doing well, and I genuinely am glad. Right? I'm genuinely glad that my friends in America, my friends in the continent, my friends in the new and old world, I'm glad everyone everywhere else seems to be pulling their fingers out and doing a good job. I'm genuinely thrilled for you. Genuinely, like I'm watching what's happening in Ireland, for example, right? And I'm like, I can see, I've got like, people, mutuals on Twitter, and they're so, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. Like, yeah, no, you're getting the English experience. You're becoming immiserated by the globalist powers in exactly the same way England has. And you're going to get more of it and more of it and more of it and more of it until you've had enough. And I think the Irish may well have enough before we do. They'll have a sense of self, a sense of collective Irish identity, and they will hopefully vote for an Irish patriotic party that's just like, no, we're not having this. We're not having this. But there's no fucking hope for England, man. We just refuse, outright refuse. And I'm not going to get into the reasons for it because it's fucking late and I'm tired. But holy shit, man. Things are bad. Anyway, thanks all for joining me, by the way. Speak to you all later. Go and subscribe to Lensies.com. Bye.